Hi all, I'm Kristin Oropeza, Education Marketing and Community Coordinator here at Common Sense Education. We're back, it's back to school time, and we are here helping educators prepare or get started for their beginning of the school year. Today, I have Jennifer Ehehalt, Senior Education Manager here at Common Sense with me. Jennifer, good morning.
Hi, Kristin.
How are you doing today?
We are
Are
good.
you back to school ready?
Are you ever really ready? But it is
Yeah,
the bittersweet ending of summer, but also the excitement and enthusiasm of a brand new year, a fresh
right,
start. So, yeah, I
right.
can say I'm more excited, I think. Yeah.
Great. So, we've been busy here at Common Sense preparing for back to school and getting our resources ready for educators that they might find handy this back to school season, right? Or beginning of the school year. And one of the things we talk about pretty heavily is the need for parent involvement. And I think both of us being parents of young children at home and using tech both at home and in school, there's this very, very strong need for educators to kind of bring families into that and the discussion and the use of ed tech. And I want to know, what resources do we have available for teachers that they can share with families and just get that conversation started?
Absolutely. That is definitely a piece of the puzzle that we need to consider when we're thinking about our back to school planning, our back to school communication. And with our back to school landing page, one of the resources that we highlight are the classroom tech agreements. So you're doing all this hard work in the classroom to set up expectations and build good habits for your students around digital well-being and, media balance and well-being. Uh, One of the things I'm really excited to share with us today are the parent or the family communication pieces. So how can we engage families around these same conversations so students are not only seeing, wow, we do this in school in my classroom with my teacher, but okay, this is also going to happen at home too, and kind of offering that routine on both sides. And so we have what we're calling family tech agreements, and I'm going to go ahead and pull them up so you can see what they entail. I love them because they're broken out into age groups. So depending on if you have a elementary, a middle, a high school, so ages 2 to 8, 9 to 12, and then 13 and up. They are also available in Spanish as well. So let's just start with the first one here. Here's what it looks like. So you can see there's different advice bubbles within these documents. And so really it's talking about some of the expectations. So for screen time, you put down everybody in the home, all the household participants and the amount of time. Think about the amount of time during the weekdays, maybe on weekends it's a little different, and when and where we can use our devices. I know at our house we do device free dinners, right? No tablets, no devices at our table when we're eating. And you can see a couple other ones listed here, in or outside the bedroom, um, car or public transportation, and then making the most of screen time. These tips are really great because sometimes it's just nice to hear it or confirm some of the things that you're thinking. And so this one happens to be for the ages 2 to 8. Again, this content is all customizable, so you can make a copy. I know in our family, we made a poster. It was just fun to create and name all the things we do based on our family, values and how we use media in our home. This one happens to be for 9 through 12-year-olds. So you can see it's a little laid out a little differently, but you're still naming the things that we all agree upon. And so here maybe are the streaming platforms that we have access to, and here's what you can watch, or, we have to wait, this isn't really appropriate for us right now. And then if you scroll down, there's still some of those bubbles of advice. And so how are we safe? How are we kind? How are we healthy? And so just thinking about the things that you want to instill with your family and what that looks like in terms of the things we post or share, consume, create, how does this impact all the things that we believe in our family? And so these are really great. I'm going to go back and share the last one we have here. I'll pull up the Spanish version so you can get a feel, all the same content. Obviously, they can go through, and this is more for the high school. But again, thinking about that media balance and well-being.
I love these tech agreements, and I have to say, like, as a parent, I started using these with my daughter as soon as she was like starting to use some of the devices in our home. Like, she has her own iPad, so we sat down, and as a family, we went through this, and we talked about, you know, how much we use devices, and especially now that it's like summertime and being cognizant of how much screen time. We do the device-free dinners too, which I think is great, like a great conversation to have, right? Right. And focusing on family at that time. I love that the agreements come in Spanish, because I was teaching at a school down here by me, and a lot of my families were not, their first language was not English, and you still want to make sure as an educator that you are being cognizant and value, right, the cultures and languages your families are bringing into your classroom, and so being able to provide that to my Spanish speaking families was just so, like, I had parents come to me and just say, thank you. You're the first teacher who sent something to me in Spanish where I could start to engage with my student, you know, and I just, you know, it's sad that it took several teachers before me to, you know, for them to
Right.
get something like that. And I think I love that a lot of our resources, not just the agreements, but a lot of our resources we have in multiple languages, which I think, again, just put emphasis on the family and that value they bring into your classroom.
Absolutely. And, you know, ideas on how to get this information to your families, consider your LMS or your parent portal. These are just links that are easily uploaded, shared out, and so parents can access them through that. You could also make copies if paper is a little easier for the families that you serve. Um, and also, this could also be snuck into that device rollout day, right? If you have a
Yeah.
family, or if you have like a, well, obviously open house
Yeah.
or some types of events where the devices are actually be given to the families, that
Yeah.
little sheet could go right with it. So lots of different
Yeah.
ways to keep it top of mind for
Yeah.
families as they head back to school. And my only last piece of advice would be to make sure, again, this is one of those, encourage families to visit it often. It's
Yeah.
going to look very different come winter break,
Yeah.
spring break, or, you know, any type of fall break, you know, when you have those extra days off. And don't be so, you know, it's okay to accept a few more hours of screen time in those breaks. So, you know, encourage families to take a look at it and offer a little more time, whether it's creating or learning or consuming. But yeah, visiting those and giving them some ideas or advice around that is always helpful.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for providing a resource for our families, because as we know, it's so important to bring them in and involve them in the process every step of the way, from beginning to end of school year. Again, we're so excited here at Common Sense for back to school. And excuse me, I appreciate you being here today and just sharing these resources with us.
I mean, absolutely. They're also very useful. So if I can, you know, help somebody else or, you know, make it easier for you all, that's my goal. So yeah, you can find all of this content on our back to school page. We have a landing page at commonsenseeducation.org/education/back to school with hyphens.
Yes. Yes.
And it'll all be linked there for you to just have these and download them and create them for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Have a good day.